I haven't heard your voice in years, but my heart still has conversations with you every day.
Life without parole.
Jaleel Smith Riley had pleaded guilty to avoid the death penalty, then tried to change his plea and take the case to trial, only to collapse in shock when he found out that request is denied and he'll never get out of prison. It was a legal roller coaster and an emotional one for the families of his victims.
Him and Portia was always together. They were young, they were in love, and they were happy.
In November 2013, Porshia Brooks was shot and killed. Her boyfriend, Aaron Martin, shot and wounded during an attempted robbery in Norwood. After a 2-year investigation, Smith Riley was tracked down out of state and confessed. Today, he apologized and asked that he be given a chance to come home from prison one day.
He wants to come home, but we want Portia back. We can't get Portia back. That's not an option for us.
He took that from me. He took it from all of us. He ruined my life. He not only killed her, but he killed me mentally, emotionally. I have to deal with life without Portia, so he should deal with life without parole.
A life sentence of loss for Portia's family. Perhaps a life sentence of injury for Aaron Martin, who survived being shot in the head.
I can accomplish certain things, but I have to change my goals to accommodate how I am right now.
Jaleel Smith Riley's attorneys at the end of today's hearing let the judge know he does intend to file an appeal from the Hamilton County Courthouse. Andrew Setters, WLWTV.
A courtroom packed with anxious faces. The air is heavy, every eye fixed on the defendant, once defiant, now trembling. Tears streak down his face as the verdict is read, the weight of his actions finally crashing in. For the family of Porshia Brooks, this moment is both a reckoning and a heartbreak, the end of a long, agonizing wait for answers. But how did it come to this? How did a vibrant young woman's life, filled with promise and love, end in such tragedy? Tonight, we follow the path that led to this unforgettable day in court, a story of loss, determination, and the relentless pursuit of justice. If you're new here, welcome to Psycho Crimes. On this channel, we explore the world's most infamous crimes, mysterious disappearances, disturbing confessions, and the minds behind them. From headline-grabbing trials to cases that still haunt entire communities, we bring you gripping storytelling and in-depth analysis. If you're fascinated by true crime and the search for truth, make sure to like this video and subscribe so you never miss a case. Stay with us as we uncover the events that shattered a family, shook a community, and brought a killer to tears in front of the world. The story of Porshia Brooks begins now. Long before her name became linked to tragedy, Porshia Lynn Brooks was known for her infectious energy and a smile that could light up any room. Born on December 14, 1992, in Cincinnati, Ohio, Porshia grew up in a close-knit, blended family that valued loyalty and support. As the second child of her mother, Sharon, and the fifth for her father, Thomas, she learned early on the importance of togetherness. Her home was filled with laughter, warmth, and the kind of bonds that weather any storm. From a young age, Porshia's love for animals set her apart. She wasn't just fond of pets, she was passionate about caring for them, understanding them, and making their lives better. This devotion led her to the Zoo Academy, a unique school where she could nurture her interests and develop skills that would shape her future. Teachers and classmates remember her as bubbly, compassionate, and always ready to lend a hand. Her enthusiasm was contagious, and her kindness left a mark on everyone she met.
She loved her animals. She had 2 dogs, as well as a rabbit, and wanted to adopt more.
She graduated from the Zoo Academy, where Glenn Schulte was one of her instructors.
Just really a fantastic kid whose personality was so positive that even if you met her for a little while, you'd remember her.
Porshia got her dream job working at the Red Dog Pet Spa in Madisonville. Her other passion was boyfriend Aaron Martin.
She did nothing but go to work, take Adam and Eve, her dogs, to the dog park, go hang out, eat dinner, watch a movie with Aaron, which was the love of her life, and come home.
Tom Brooks said his daughter wouldn't harm any animal, even a bug that chased the family out of the house.
So I was going to swat it with the broom. She was like, no, catch it and put it in there. I was like, no, we can't do that. She said, don't hit it, leave it in there. We'll stay out here. I'm like, we're not giving a house to the bugs.
Now that's all changed. Porshia is gone, and Aaron is in intensive care.
He's a caring young man. He just didn't deserve this. They didn't deserve this. It's unfortunate. I mean, it's just senseless.
Brooks family members want the shooter caught to give them closure.
I loved my sister. She was great. I was with her the entire time.
Our family feels robbed. They took Porshia from us, and I feel robbed. And Porshia was robbed.
Outside the classroom, Porshia's world revolved around her family and her two beloved dogs. She found joy in simple moments, walking her pets, sharing stories with her siblings, and working at the Red Dog Pet Resort and Spa. There, she was more than just an employee. She was a friend, a confidant, and a source of comfort for both animals and people alike. Porshia's life was also filled with love. Her relationship with Aaron Martin was strong and genuine, built on mutual respect and shared dreams. Friends often describe them as inseparable, always supporting each other through life's challenges and celebrating every small victory together. For those who knew her, Porshia was a bright light, someone whose presence made the world a little softer, a little kinder. Her story, however, would soon take a turn that no one could have anticipated. November 16, 2013, began like any other Saturday for Porshia Brooks. She spent the day surrounded by people she loved, her laughter echoing through the spaces she moved. That evening, she and her boyfriend, Aaron Martin, made their way to Aaron's apartment on Carthage Avenue in Norwood, a neighborhood just outside Cincinnati. The night air was calm, and the city's usual hum of activity faded into the background as they parked outside, likely savoring a quiet moment together before heading inside. What happened next would forever alter the course of countless lives. As Porshia and Aaron sat in her car, three young men approached, their intentions hidden behind blank expressions. One of them, later identified as Jaleel Smith Riley, carried a weapon. He tapped on the passenger side window, shattering the sense of safety that had filled the car just moments before. The encounter was sudden, the threat immediate. Aaron, confronted by the armed stranger, stepped out of the car, trying to explain that he had nothing to give. The tension escalated in an instant. Without warning, Smith Riley opened fire. The sound of gunshots pierced the night, echoing down the quiet street. Both Aaron and Porshia were struck, Aaron in the head, Porshia gravely wounded. In the chaos that followed, the attackers fled, leaving behind a scene of devastation. Neighbors, drawn by the commotion, rushed to help.
There was a guy outside of the car who looked like he was bleeding from multiple spots. There's a lady in it, and she's bleeding.
Emergency responders arrived quickly, their efforts focused on saving lives that hung in the balance. Porshia was rushed to the hospital, her family and friends clinging to hope as doctors fought to keep her alive. Aaron, though critically injured, survived, but the bullet lodged in his head would remain with him, a permanent reminder of that night. For Porshia's loved ones, the hours that followed were filled with fear, confusion, and disbelief. The vibrant young woman they knew was now fighting for her life, the future she had dreamed of suddenly uncertain. The community, too, was shaken, struggling to comprehend how such violence could erupt so close to home. That night marked the end of innocence for many. It was the beginning of a long journey through grief, anger, and the search for answers. A journey that would test the strength of everyone touched by Porshia's story. In the days following the attack, a heavy silence settled over the Brooks family and everyone who loved Porshia. The hospital became a gathering place for relatives and friends, each person clinging to hope, praying for a miracle that never came. When the news finally arrived that Porshia had succumbed to her injuries, the heartbreak was overwhelming. The loss was not just personal. It rippled through her family, her workplace, her school, and the wider Cincinnati community.
He ruined my life. He not only killed her, but he killed me, mentally, emotionally. I have to deal with life without Porshia, so he should deal with life without parole.
For Sharon Brooks, Porshia's mother, the pain was indescribable. The routines of daily life, once filled with laughter, shared meals, and simple joys, were now marked by absence. Thomas Brooks Jr., Porshia's father, struggled to make sense of a world without his daughter's bright spirit. Siblings, friends, and colleagues found themselves lost in memories, replaying moments and conversations, wishing for just one more day. Aaron Martin, who survived the shooting, faced a different kind of battle.
I can accomplish certain things, but I have to change my goals to accommodate how I am right now.
The physical wound was severe, but the emotional scars ran even deeper. The bullet that doctors could not remove became a constant reminder of the night that changed everything. Aaron's recovery was slow and painful, shadowed by grief and survivor's guilt. He often spoke of the emotional pain as something that never truly faded, a weight he would carry for years to come. The community, too, was left reeling. At the Red Dog Pet Resort and Spa, co-workers mourned the loss of a friend who had brought warmth and kindness to every shift. At the Zoo Academy, teachers and classmates remembered Porshia's enthusiasm and the way she made others feel seen and valued.
Just really a fantastic kid whose personality was so positive that even if you met her for a little while, you'd remember her.
Vigils were held, candles lit, and prayers offered, but the sense of injustice lingered. As days turned into weeks, one question echoed through every conversation: why? Why did this happen to someone so full of life? Why had the attackers chosen that moment, that car, that night? The lack of answers only deepened the pain. For the Brooks family, grief was compounded by frustration. The case remained unsolved, and the person responsible for Porshia's death was still out there. In the face of such loss, the community rallied together, determined to keep Porshia's memory alive and to seek the justice she deserved. But the road ahead would be long, marked by uncertainty and the relentless search for truth. As the initial shock faded, the Brooks family's grief transformed into determination. Porshia's loved ones refused to let her story become just another statistic. Sharon Brooks, in particular, became a force of nature, her heartbreak fueling a relentless push for answers. She reached out to local media, organized vigils, and spoke at community gatherings, urging anyone with information to come forward. The family printed flyers, distributed them across neighborhoods, and kept Porshia's face in the public eye, refusing to let her memory fade. The investigation, however, was anything but straightforward. Detectives worked tirelessly, interviewing witnesses and following every possible lead. Yet, for months, progress was painfully slow. The randomness of the attack made it difficult to pinpoint suspects, and the lack of clear motive left investigators with more questions than answers. Each day without a breakthrough weighed heavily on the Brooks family, who found themselves caught between hope and despair. Despite the frustration, the community's support never wavered. Friends, neighbors, and even strangers joined the family's efforts, attending rallies and sharing Porshia's story on social media. The case became a rallying point, a symbol of the urgent need to address violence and protect the vulnerable. The outpouring of solidarity gave the family strength, reminding them that they were not alone in their fight for justice. Months turned into years, but the Brooks family's resolve never faltered. Sharon's voice grew louder, her pleas more urgent. She spoke directly to the conscience of the city, reminding everyone that Porshia was more than a headline. She was a daughter, a sister, a friend. The family's advocacy kept the case alive, ensuring that it remained a priority for law enforcement. Finally, after nearly 2 years of uncertainty, a breakthrough arrived. Tips from the public, combined with persistent detective work, led authorities to Jaleel Smith Riley and his accomplices. The suspects were tracked down, and confessions followed. The truth emerged. The attack on Porshia and Aaron had been a random act of violence, a crime of opportunity with devastating consequences. One of the suspects had already died before he could be brought to trial, but the others would soon face justice. For the Brooks family, the arrests brought a measure of relief, but also a new wave of emotion. The knowledge that those responsible would be held accountable was a step toward healing, but it could never erase the pain of losing Porshia. Still, the family's persistence had paid off. Their refusal to give up, their willingness to speak out, and the community's unwavering support had made all the difference. The search for justice was not just about punishment, it was about honoring Porshia's life, ensuring her story was heard, and standing up for every family who has ever waited for answers. The Brooks family's journey became a testament to the power of resilience, the importance of community, and the enduring hope that justice, though sometimes delayed, can still be found. After nearly 2 years of uncertainty, the case finally reached a turning point.
Good evening, I'm Cherie Palello.
And thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Dardis. Tonight, a family gets the news they were hoping for. Police say they have now solved a murder mystery that goes back 2 years.
A 20-year-old woman was killed. Her boyfriend shot in the head. WLWT News host Tammy Matassa is live for us tonight in Norwood with the big break in the case today. Tammy.
Mike and Cherie, unless you've lost a child, you can't even imagine how relieved this family is. Lots of tips, 2 years of pain. Finally, the family of Porshia Brooks has some answers, and police were even moved to tears.
The last 2 years have been pure hell. It's been pure hell.
2 years of torture, but they never gave up hope the phone call would come.
And today, begins a new chapter.
Today, Norwood police gave Porshia Brooks' family the news they prayed for ever since the 20-year-old was gunned down while talking to her boyfriend in her car back in November 2013.
I just know I fell to my knees and I cried.
Today is Christmas.
Police say 2 suspects admitted their role in Porshia's murder. Jaleel Smith Riley has been charged with murder. Another suspect is out of state in jail. A third suspect is now dead. Cracking the case moved police to tears.
It's just emotional. It's sad. It's very sad.
Aaron Martin survived the shooting, but he's still shaken up by the horror.
I'm a strong person, but this hit me. This hit home. It hit me. This hit me hard.
Detectives say it was a random robbery.
These monsters saw them as a chance to do a robbery. There was no danger here. Simply living their life, enjoying an evening out, and then they get taken, senselessly.
With tons of tips, detectives say they never let the trail get cold. Because of that, tonight, Porshia's mom says she can finally sleep.
I am forever indebted to them, and I know they say it's just their job.
The Brooks family's tireless advocacy, combined with the dedication of investigators and the support of the community, began to pay off. Quietly, hope started to replace despair as new leads emerged, tips from the public that pointed detectives in the right direction. The investigation gained momentum. Authorities zeroed in on Jaleel Smith Riley and 2 other suspects, piecing together the events of that fateful night. The suspects were eventually located, and the truth began to surface. Smith Riley and his accomplice, who was already in custody in another state, confessed to their roles in the attack. The third suspect, however, would never face trial. He had died before justice could catch up to him. The confessions revealed the senselessness of the crime. There was no personal connection between the attackers and their victims. It was a random act, a decision made in a fleeting moment that would forever alter the lives of so many. For the Brooks family, the details were both devastating and strangely relieving. The randomness of the violence meant there was nothing Porshia or Aaron could have done to prevent it. No warning signs, no hidden motives, just a tragic encounter with strangers. As news of the arrests spread, the community responded with a mix of relief and sorrow. There was comfort in knowing that those responsible would finally be held accountable, but the pain of loss remained. For Sharon Brooks and her family, the breakthrough was bittersweet. The long wait for answers was over, but the reality of Porshia's absence was as sharp as ever. The confessions also brought a sense of closure to the investigation. The pieces of the story finally fit together, and the legal process could move forward. The Brooks family, though still grieving, could now focus on the next chapter, seeing justice served in a court of law. The breakthrough was a testament to persistence, community action, and the unwavering love of a family determined to honor Porshia's memory. But the most dramatic moments were still to come, as the case moved from the shadows of investigation to the bright, unyielding light of the courtroom. The day of the trial arrived, drawing a crowd of anxious family members, friends, and community supporters to the courthouse.
His hell begins today.
The family of a young woman gunned down during a robbery has been waiting 2 years for this day.
Like as if it was still brand new. Like it's never moved past it.
Tonight, new details about the night Porshia Brooks and her boyfriend were shot. The family's reaction to seeing one of the 3 suspects face to face. Good evening to you. I'm Cherie Palello.
And I'm Mike Dardis. Police say they were random victims of a robbery gone horribly wrong.
A woman killed on a Norwood street, her boyfriend critically injured. Tonight, her family says finally they're on the road to justice.
WLWT News 5's Brian Hamrick live for us, covering the family's reaction to the suspect's arrest. Brian.
Yeah, Mike, well, the anniversary of this murder is just 10 days away. The family in that time has been waiting and waiting for this day. And all that time, police have been following lead after lead after lead, but it's led nowhere until now. Now they say the killers are behind bars. Jaleel Marquise Smith Riley entered court suspected of murder. As prosecutors read the accusations,
the 2 victims were in a car. The defendant ordered one of the victims out of the vehicle and attempted to rob him at gunpoint.
Smith Riley rolled his eyes. Investigators say he and 2 others stumbled on the victims and decided to rob them. Smith Riley allegedly held them at gunpoint, then opened fire, killing Porshia Brooks. Her family was in court watching.
For 2 years, he got to live his life while we was in hell.
Sharon Brooks is Porshia's mother.
Now he has to live in prison while Porshia is with us spiritually, and we can begin the healing process. His hell begins today.
The atmosphere was tense, every seat filled with people waiting to see if justice would finally be served for Porshia Brooks. For Sharon Brooks and her family, each step into the courtroom felt like walking through a storm, grief, anger, and hope all swirling together. As the proceedings began, the accused sat at the defense table, no longer the faceless figure from news reports, but a real person, visibly shaken by the gravity of the moment. The prosecution laid out the facts with clarity and conviction, recounting the events of that November night and the devastating impact on Porshia's loved ones. Witnesses took the stand, their voices steady but their eyes betraying the pain they still carried. Aaron Martin, still bearing the physical and emotional scars of the attack, described the chaos and terror of that night, his words painting a vivid picture for the jury. Throughout the trial, the Brooks family sat together, holding hands, drawing strength from one another. The courtroom became a place where sorrow and resilience met, where the memory of Porshia was honored with every testimony and every tear. The defense attempted to explain the actions of the accused, but the weight of evidence and the raw emotion in the room made it clear that this was more than just another case. It was a reckoning. As the verdict approached, the tension in the courtroom was almost unbearable. When the jury returned, all eyes turned to the defendant.
Life without parole.
Jaleel Smith Riley had pleaded guilty to avoid the death penalty, then tried to change his plea and take the case to trial, only to collapse in shock when he found out that request is denied and he'll never get out of prison.
The judge's words echoed through the silent room as the verdict was read, guilty. In that instant, the accused broke down, tears streaming down his face, the reality of his actions finally sinking in. The courtroom, so often a place of cold procedure, became a stage for raw human emotion, grief, relief, and the bittersweet taste of justice. For the Brooks family, the verdict brought a measure of closure. Sharon wept openly, her tears a mix of sorrow for her daughter and gratitude that justice had been served. Friends and supporters embraced, some crying, others simply sitting in stunned silence. Even the judge paused, acknowledging the pain endured by everyone in the room.
Today he apologized and asked that he be given a chance to come home from prison one day.
He wants to come home, but we want Porshia back. We can't get Porshia back. That's not an option for us.
He took that from me. He took it from all of us. He ruined my life. He not only killed her, but he killed me mentally, emotionally. I have to deal with life without Porshia, so he should deal with life without parole.
A life sentence of loss for Porshia's family. Perhaps a life sentence of injury for Aaron Martin, who survived being shot in the head.
I can accomplish certain things, but I have to change my goals to accommodate how I am right now.
But justice, while necessary, could never restore what was lost. The trial's conclusion marked the end of one chapter and the beginning of another, a journey toward healing that would take time, patience, and the continued support of a caring community. The courtroom drama was not just about punishment. It was about bearing witness to the truth, honoring Porshia's life, and affirming the strength of those left behind. In the end, the tears that fell in that courtroom were for a young woman whose light was extinguished too soon, and for a family that refused to let her memory fade. With the trial behind them, the Brooks family and those closest to Porshia faced a new reality, one shaped by both justice and loss. The verdict had brought a sense of accountability, but it could never fill the space left by Porshia's absence. For Sharon and Thomas Brooks, daily life became a series of small battles, learning to navigate birthdays, holidays, and quiet evenings without their daughter's laughter. The pain was ever present, but so was the determination to honor her memory. Aaron Martin, who survived the attack, continued his own journey of recovery. The physical wound, a bullet that could never be removed, was a constant reminder of that night. Yet, it was the emotional scars that proved most difficult to heal. Aaron spoke openly about the weight he carried, the moments of guilt and grief that surfaced unexpectedly. He found solace in sharing Porshia's story, hoping that by speaking out, he could help others understand the true cost of violence. At the Red Dog Pet Resort and Spa, Porshia's former co-workers kept her spirit alive in small ways. A favorite photo on the wall, stories shared during breaks, and the gentle care they gave to every animal that came through the door. The Zoo Academy community, too, remembered her with tributes and moments of silence, ensuring that her legacy would not be forgotten. The wider Cincinnati community felt the impact as well. Porshia's story became a rallying point for conversations about safety, justice, and the importance of standing together in the face of tragedy. Vigils and memorials offered comfort, but they also served as reminders of the work still to be done to prevent similar losses. Healing for everyone touched by Porshia's life was not a straight path. It was a process marked by setbacks and small victories, by tears and moments of hope. Through it all, the Brooks family remained united, drawing strength from each other and from the community that had supported them from the very beginning. Porshia's memory lived on, not just in the hearts of those who loved her, but in the ongoing efforts to create a safer, more compassionate world. The story of Porshia Brooks is more than a tragedy. It's a powerful reminder of the resilience found in families, the strength of communities, and the importance of never giving up in the pursuit of justice. While the pain of loss can never be erased, the way Porshia's loved ones responded to heartbreak offers lessons that reach far beyond a single case. One of the most important takeaways is the impact of community action. The Brooks family's determination, combined with the support of friends, neighbors, and even strangers, kept Porshia's case alive when answers seemed out of reach. Their willingness to speak out, organize events, and keep her memory in the public eye played a crucial role in bringing those responsible to justice. It's a testament to what can happen when people refuse to let a story fade and instead rally together for a common cause. The case also highlights the importance of persistence. For nearly 2 years, the Brooks family faced setbacks, unanswered questions, and moments of despair. Yet, they never stopped searching for the truth.
Go back, I'm so sorry. This is what I come with.
Their journey shows that even when the path is uncertain, hope and determination can lead to breakthroughs that once seemed impossible. There are broader lessons as well. Porshia's story encourages us to look out for one another, to support those who are grieving, and to take an active role in making our communities safer. It's a call to action, not just for law enforcement, but for everyone. Whether it's attending a vigil, sharing information, or simply offering a kind word to someone in pain, small acts of solidarity can make a lasting difference. Finally, the case serves as a reminder of the value of every life. Porshia was more than a victim. She was a daughter, a friend, and a source of joy for those around her. Honoring her memory means working to prevent similar tragedies, supporting those left behind, and striving for a world where justice is not just a hope, but a reality. Through heartbreak and healing, the story of Porshia Brooks stands as a testament to love, courage, and the enduring power of community. The journey through Porshia Brooks's story is one marked by heartbreak, resilience, and the unwavering pursuit of justice. Her life, though tragically cut short, continues to inspire those who knew her and even those who only know her story. The pain of her loss is felt deeply, but so too is the strength shown by her family, friends, and community, a strength that turned grief into action and despair into hope. As we reflect on the events that unfolded, we're reminded that behind every headline is a real person, a family forever changed, and a community left searching for answers. Porshia's legacy is not just in the memories she left behind, but in the determination of those who refuse to let her story be forgotten. Their fight for justice, their willingness to speak out, and their commitment to supporting one another offer a powerful example of what it means to stand together in the face of tragedy. Here at Psycho Crimes, we believe that every story deserves to be told with care, depth, and respect. We're committed to bringing you detailed investigations, gripping storytelling, and thoughtful analysis of the cases that matter most. If you found Porshia's story moving, or if you believe in the importance of seeking truth and justice, we invite you to join our community. Stories like Porshia Brooks's remind us that behind every case are real people whose lives are forever changed. While justice in the courtroom can bring a sense of closure, the journey for families and survivors continues long after the headlines fade. If you or someone you know has been affected by violence, remember that support and understanding can make all the difference. At Psycho Crimes, we're committed to not only telling these stories, but also fostering a community where viewers can share, reflect, and support one another. If you'd like to see more cases covered, or if you have thoughts on how communities can come together in the face of tragedy, let us know in the comments. Your voice matters here,